The federal government is moving with unusual speed in the death of Alton Sterling. The Justice Department opened a civil rights investigation just a day after he was shot by the police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The shooting was captured on video, and we caution you, it is graphic. David Begnaud is in Baton Rouge.
Cell phone video shows a Baton Rouge police officer taking 37-year-old Alton Sterling down to the ground. A second video, just released, offers a much closer look. Here, an officer is straddled over Sterling, while a second officer appears to be kneeling on Sterling's arm, with his gun pointed right at Sterling's chest. Abdullah Muflahi recorded that video. He owns the convenience store where the shooting happened.
He was telling him, what did I do wrong? What's going on? What did I do wrong?
You heard him saying, "What did I do wrong?"
Yeah.
Then, while on his back, Sterling is shot. Muflahi says for more than a year, Sterling sold CDs outside his store. He says at the time of the shooting, Sterling did have a gun. Baton Rouge police have identified the officers involved as Blaine Salamone and Howie Lake II. Both were responding to a 911 call made near the store.
This copy shots fired, North Foster. Play 100 North Foster.
Within hours of his death, protesters rallied at the scene of the shooting. Carl Dabadi is Baton Rouge's police chief.
We want to know the truth, and we want to get to the bottom of it. And as chief, I am accountable.
Within 24 hours of the shooting, in a rare move, Louisiana's governor personally asked the U.S. Justice Department to take over the investigation.
We all learned lessons from what was done elsewhere in the country over the last several years, and we're trying to be as proactive as possible. We don't want to be reactive.
This morning, Quinetta McMillan, the mother of Alton Sterling's son, spoke while her son wept next to her.
As a mother, I have now been forced to raise a son who is going to remember what happened to his father. No peace. I, for one, will not rest or not allow him to be swept in the dirt.
Alton Sterling did have a criminal history, which included illegal possession of a firearm. We tried to reach those two officers who were involved in the shooting, but were unsuccessful. Tonight, both of them are on paid administrative leave. Maurice, here at the scene of the shooting, there is about to be a vigil, and for a second night in a row, you can see people are already protesting. But I have to tell you, all day, the protests have been very peaceful.
David Begnaud in Baton Rouge tonight.
Yo. This is Retronic Ice Cat. You're on the Real News Talk channel. So now, this video is going to be about another fucked up story. Another fucked up reality that went down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening, where a 37-year-old black man, Alton Sterling, was gunned down while he was floored by the cops, right? There were a few words exchanged between the guy and the cops. All of a sudden, he gets shot multiple times. And now the Black Lives Matter war has restarted again. There's recently been a protest that broke out, and now all hell has broken loose once again. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the world, or in America for that matter. It seems to me that killing a black person, getting shot by a cop in America has become the norm. Because police think that, oh yeah, it's okay to kill niggas. Yeah, you know, they want to find an excuse to kill a black person. Are they that bored? Are they that fucking bored? Do they not think that they're going to get caught? Do they not think that somebody could be recording them secretly from an angle? Are they really that fucking stupid? Really? Really and fucking truly? But then again, these cops don't give a fuck. These American cops don't give a shit. They don't care because they're possessed by the devil. the devil, right? The devil got them to kill blacks in the United States. You know? It's totally fucked up, man, in this society that we live in today. You know, when you're a black person, you're bound to go through racism, discrimination, hate, degradation, all sorts of heinous shit. From all angles, from all races, even their own. You have brothers throwing each other underneath the fucking bus just so they can be accepted by another race that don't even give a fuck about them also. You understand what I'm saying? We are the most hated race on this fucking earth. Whether you're black, fair skin, whatever. If you're a black person, period, you are bound to go through discrimination and racism. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you live in the Western world. Boy, people want to say, oh, racism don't exist. Racism does exist. Racism is still alive and well. Don't let anybody else tell you any different, because if racism did not exist, then why are people still discriminating against blacks? Why are people still calling blacks niggers? Why are cops still gunning down black people like it's fun? They must think that all black people are so-called gangsters. They must think all black people are bad. They must think all black people are vulgar. They must think all black people are demonic. Well, they demonic themselves. They demonic them fucking selves. You know? What the fuck does that make them? At the end of the day. Barbaric. Because that's what barbaric people do to animals. They treat black people like animals. You understand what I'm saying? Even in the school as well. In schools as well. They put black people down. They want to dumb down black people. Intelligent black people. They want to put them down. Make them stupid so they can take advantage of black people. You understand? That's what I don't get with society today. I don't fucking get it. I don't know why people cannot see the bigger picture that racism still exists. They want to walk a blind eye and act like, oh, racism is no more. Racism is a thing of the past. Racism is a thing of the old age. Are you that fucking uneducated to even think that? Or to be oblivious to it? Can't you see what's going on in front of your fucking eyes? And you know, I know some people are aware that racism still exists. And I'm one of those people, those conscious-minded people. I'm a very conscious person. I'm a realist. I keep it real. And I say how it is. I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm not the type of person to hide things. To hide what I'm thinking. You know, I say how it is because at the end of the day, even though it is a price to keep an empty mind, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. You know? Better out than in. And that's just the way that I view things. The way that I express things. Whether people like it or not, whether it's the popular thing or the unpopular thing, I don't really give a fuck because I don't follow the crowd. I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what they need to hear. And they need to hear this. Do you really think that Black Lives Matter? And this goes out to the black folks. Do you really think that black lives really matter? Do you? Because some of you, right, say that Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, you hate on your own black people. You degrade your own black people. You degrade yourself. Because you're the same motherfuckers that don't say shit when another black person gets beat down or gunned down or knifed by another black person. Where's your Black Lives Matter protest, huh? Where's your fucking, you know, justification on Black Lives Matter? Where the fuck is that when your own kind gets killed? by another brother? Because it seems to me that black lives only matter when a black person gets killed by a white cop or a white person. That's the only time that black lives seem to matter to you black people. You ignorant black coons out there. And it's not just black lives matter, all fucking lives matter. All lives matter, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to protest Black Lives Matter, you better protest it for a proper cause. Not only when a black person gets killed by a cop or another racist group. No. Because if you do that, then you don't really give a fuck about yourself or black people. You're just saying it just to fit in. You know, and trying to avoid being an outcast. You understand? You're not a real brother. You're just a coon in disguise. You understand? You know, this whole shit has been happening so frequently. Trayvon Martin, the other guy, I forgot his name, who got gunned down as well a couple of years ago. I forgot his name. Big guy, you know. The guy who got choked to death in New York just for stopping a fight. Another guy who got killed, another young guy, another young brother who got gunned down in Maryland. I think it was a year or so ago. You know. Sandra Bland, mysteriously killed in a prison cell, etc., etc. And now this shit. Do I think black lives really matter? It does matter. Of course it matters. You know why it matters? Because we're human beings. You know? We are fucking human beings. Just like all other lives matter. You know? When a person dies, regardless of what race they are, we moan. We mourn. You know? We send our condolences to that person and their family. That's what we do. But it's funny. It's not just black people who don't give a fuck if their own gets killed by another person of their kind. Other races don't give a fuck. They don't care if black people fight amongst themselves and kill off each other, stab up each other. They don't give a shit. They pretend they do, but they don't. Where's the Black Lives Matter protesting? Why ain't nobody marching down the street? Why ain't nobody saying shit when a black person kills another person of their kind? Why don't they say shit? Why is when a black person gets killed by another race, especially a white person, everybody wants to jump the gun and say, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Power, this and that. Black people need to unite solidly all the way and stop killing off each other, stop racism, stop discrimination, and fight the real enemy, which is the elites. Because most of you may not want to admit it, but they are the ones who are stirring this shit up. The powers that be. They don't really give a fuck about the civilians' opinions or their views on things. Because at the end of the day, we are tortured, you know, by the elites. They treat us as mental slaves. And when I say that, I mean they treat us as mental slaves, as in they want to fucking blind us by the real, you know, from the real truth. They want to distract us from what's really going on by either making shit up or try to create a story that never really happened, or try and distract us with, you know, with music, popular music like Rihanna's Work, and all that other new school bullshit that they promote on a daily basis. They want to distract us with that. Instead of, making us reveal, the real problem. They don't want us to know the real problem. They want to distract us. They want to quickly distract us. When people are about to know the real thing, they quickly distract us, especially when it comes down to music or popular, unrealistic, fictional movies that are put out there today. They want to distract us. That's the reason why, we don't stick to what we want to fight for. Because once this shit gets died down, once it's all been forgotten, everybody goes back to their own self. Even other races go back to their own. They go back to their own nest and worry about their own. Because really and truly, black lives only matter to a certain degree. It doesn't really matter. Because if it really mattered, black people themselves wouldn't be throwing each other underneath the bus when it comes to other races interfering in their lives or trying to oppress them or use them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the bigger question. Does black lives really matter? I don't know, you tell me. Like I said, all lives matter. Not just black lives matter. All lives, every single race. Black, white, red, yellow, pink, purple, blue, Asian, Hispanic, white people. Everybody's lives matter. But it's just the hate that clouds all of that shit. You understand? So, I personally believe that the majority of the people in this world don't really give a fuck about black people when it comes to black on black crime, which they like to call it. I don't know why they call it black on black crime, but when it comes to that, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody says anything when a black person kills their own. But when a white person kills a black person, then that's when everybody wants to shout out Black Lives Matter. When did this whole Black Lives Matter thing started? When did they start making that noise? Was it around 2014? Yeah, it was around 2014 they started making out the Black Lives Matter movement. But it didn't matter before, but all of a sudden it matters now because a black person gets killed by a cop. We need to look at the bigger picture. We need to listen to ourselves and think what we're saying. Is it accurate? Do we really mean what we say? Or we're just saying it for the moment because everybody else is saying it? Or just to gain acceptance and not feel left out? You tell me. But in a nutshell, another side event, that guy didn't deserve to die. It was a senseless death, senseless murder, And America right now, it's going for a lot of shit right now, Too many demons around, too many devils around. And that's what has taken over America for years and years. And will it ever stop? No, it ain't gonna stop. But the only thing that we can do is to try and decrease it from happening often, every so often. Because you rarely hear a white cop murdering another race besides black people or their own. You rarely see it, I know Hispanic people get harassed by cops a lot as well. But do you ever see Asian people get killed or shot by police? Do we hear that? No, we don't. Why do we always hear a white cop shooting a black man or killing a black woman? Why do we always hear that? Because again, blacks are the most hated race on this earth. Even me myself, I get called, a fucking gangster. I get called this, I get called that. Because people think that just because I'm a man of color and I'm a black person, they automatically think that you know, man's a gangster and shit. I ain't no gangster. I'm just a black person living my life, just like everybody else. You know, so if you people want to think that, then you can think what you want. But at the end of the day, I know myself better than anybody else. So you can label me however you want to label me, or whatever you think of me, because I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, you don't know my life. So your opinions are irrelevant to me. So I'm going to end this video right now. Let me know what you think of this whole bullshit. And do you really think that Black Lives Matter? Because me personally, I think it does matter. But the way people are portraying it right now seems kind of fake and phony. And they're just saying it for the moment. But when the shit dies down, you know, they forget that they even rooted for Black Lives Matter. Talk less to say all lives matter. You know, I like to say all lives matter. All lives matter. That's all I'm going to say. So you know what to do. Follow me on Twitter at Retronic Ice Cat. Subscribe to my other channel, Mr. Ice Cat, where I cover other videos and whatnot. Until my next video, take care. Stay blessed. Keep it real. And let's come closer to the Lord. Peace.